27 years old is Robbie Madison. Moments away now from attempting to jump to the top of this Arc de Triomphe and then free fall back down. Let's check in with Tess Sewell. Tess, some final thoughts you have here as to what we're going to see in this process as he gets ready to attempt this.
Well, Joe, what Robbie's going to try and do now is make sure that with this colder weather, the bike is still going to get up to that 54 mile an hour, the magic number he needs to propel the bike over the lip and land on that sweet spot that we've been talking about all night. So a few of these runs are going to happen now. Robbie won't take the ramp, but hopefully he'll get up to the speed.
Tess, I'm sure there are some folks at home that say, boy, he's only going to be in the mid-50s for his mile per hour. Explain that to us. Why that speed?
Well, Robbie found out in the calculations that he can go at 54 miles an hour in third gear, and it's basically third gear wound right out, and that is what is going to get him up. So there's a lot of mathematics and calculations that go into this. He's not just some crazy motorcycle stunt guy that's going to huck himself up a ramp. Robbie knows what he's doing. He knows how to get up there. Now he just has to make sure the machinery is ready to achieve it.
Of course, Cam Steele is also with us. And Cam, you've been covering Robbie for the past couple years as well. What have you sensed as the week has gone on in his preparation for this jump?
Well, Joe, what I've really been looking at is the focus that Robbie has had. I mean, obviously very focused on the long distance jump last year, but he seemed a little freer in his thought. This time, I think he's been practicing, he's been thinking, he's been developing his situation. And I think this time he is more focused than ever. And he talked about his trainer, Ryan Hughes. For those of you that don't know Ryan, a championship motorcycle racer, a guy that has a lot of heart, dedication, determination, and he is also instilling the same thing in Robbie. So Matto comes to this more prepared than ever, and what I see the difference is Matto more focused and more tuned in than I've ever seen him before.
What a showman as he wheelies down the entire length of the 200-foot run-up ramp, that in-run distance to the takeoff ramp that goes 35 feet high, 42 feet long. And now what we will see here is a few speed runs. Tess talked about that optimal speed, and he needs to get it just right. There is no room for error tonight. The bike is a Yamaha YZ250. Weighs 220 pounds. And he's hoping to take that 220 pounds and crest it at about 108 feet up in the air to get over that lip. Tess, how many speed runs do you anticipate?
Well, really, it's how Robbie feels. He may do 3, 4, or 5. You saw there, he stopped next to his mechanic, Buddy Morgan, took a look at what the radar gun said. He's really now feeling it, too, because part of riding a motorcycle at this level is it's the noise the motorcycle makes. You know when it's going the right speed. You feel it. Robbie's trying to feel it, too, but he's also wanting to check the number, so you'll see him make a few of these before he'll commit to the ramp.
His parents gave him his first dirt bike, and they bought him a new one every year. He's been riding since he was 4.5 years old, jumping motorcycles. You saw all the injuries that he's dealt with through the years. In fact, he made a comeback from a broken leg suffered just in May 2007. That was before that distance jump that he pulled off on last New Year's Eve. And now, Tess, we see some communication with his team, Buddy Morgan and Dane Herron.
Well, Buddy looked pretty confident there. He looks happy. I mean, Buddy is the hardest working man in show business around here. He has to get that bike absolutely perfect. You have to think about the altitude. You have to think about how cold it is, because it all affects the miles an hour that bike will travel. But big smiles so far on Buddy and Dane's faces. Another
speed run as Robbie is trying to get it just right. Cam, we heard from Tess in terms of the optimal speed, but what about the mental preparation at this point with these speed runs? The last minute boost of confidence of knowing you have it right. How big of a factor is that?
It's a huge factor. One thing, Joe, I noticed is I saw the wheelies Robbie was riding. He actually got a nose wheelie as well. Mentally, it shows you that he's tuned in, he's feeling loose, he's feeling like he's in the zone. If he's willing to work with the motorcycle, pseudo playing around, it seems like he's more tuned in and ready to go. So if you saw him doing speed runs and he had that worried look, it would worry me, but seeing him loose and playing around,
a feat that only boyish imagination could dream up, now attempted by a well-prepared man who is fully aware of his dangers. Robbie Madison is saying, this is it. To the top of the arc, he wants to go.
Well, Joe, I have to tell you, that was an absolutely perfect landing for Robbie Madison. He nailed that one. The sweet spot we talked about, he made it look so easy.
What more is there to say? Now comes what has been said to be the hardest part. As if 10 stories skyrocketing into the air isn't enough. The free fall back down. Here it comes.
Robbie was leaning out there. He was looking down, and the weight of that motorcycle alone would terrify a normal human being. But Robbie's so confident as he goes to the edge of that 100-foot drop. He's checking the bike is in the right gear. You can see him there, pushing up and down on the shifter pedal. Here we go.
He did it! Higher than anybody has ever gone before, and successfully returns.
Robbie Madison, you are the fucking man.
Robbie Madison on his night